Hello. Today is day 30 in the lockdown, and I think that we are taking along very nicely. And today, let's have a little think about being optimistic and pessimistic. Optimism, as you all know, is feeling optimistic about the future or future outcomes, and being pessimistic is the exact opposite. So, having a negative belief about the future or feeling doubtful about the future with a negative kind of slant. And I certainly used to be massive optimist. And because of that, I feel, as a psychologist said, you fell from a height. So that's why when I had my accident and things, it really knocked me like really badly. I fell from a height. So that's an element where it's bad to be an optimist. That when it doesn't go your way, it feels worse because you fall from a height. But what's the positive bit about being an optimist? There are loads of good points to being an optimist. You are less likely to suffer from anxiety. You have more, it's nice to feel positive about the future or future outcomes. You feel more optimistic about outcomes, therefore you are more likely to engage in behavior that is supportive of generating that outcome. You're more likely to engage in positive health behaviors such as attending appointments and adhering to health advice. And contrary to popular belief, it is not having your head in the sand. It is a feeling of an element of personal control, that you can affect control and you can have a positive impact on your own health outcomes. And well, isn't that wonderful for anyone who feels that way? And generally I do have that. However, being pessimistic, like I was referring to falling from a height, being pessimistic, you are less likely to fall from a height. Therefore, you don't suffer the splat when you fall on the ground. And there isn't a massive load of positive about the pessimistic thinking besides that. You are more likely to have maybe inherited it, or you're more likely to have grown up in a house where a pessimistic outlook was either promoted or just engendered in your household. And there isn't that much positive else. You are more likely to suffer from anxiety. You're more likely to suffer from depression. I think during this time, because, however way you're ticking along beforehand, and then all of a sudden, bang, we're all stuck indoors, and maybe you've lost your job, and maybe your job is more insecure. Maybe somebody in your family or a loved one elsewhere, maybe friends, like extended family, are in a precarious financial position, and that doesn't make you feel good. How would it? That's tough. And I was thinking about, okay, well, there's a lot of people that either they could have been an optimist besides, but now they've just like suffered a massive splat, or they were a pessimist and now, yeah, the shit has hit the fan. And now they are continuing on in that pessimism. And maybe they don't see hope for the future or hope after this whole pandemic ends, or it's more easily managed or more well managed. Neither of those outcomes are good, are they? I don't think they are. I was looking up ways to kind of best circumvent those feelings or those outlooks. And it was very well put in that it was described as, if you have a pathways solution to a problem, you are more likely to generate positive feelings, such as those from optimism, but in a good way. Example, best illustrated by example. This is where you say, okay, during this pandemic, I have maybe lost my job or whatever. That you're saying not one thing, you don't have it dependent on one thing that is going to give you a solution, but have many pathways around it. So sit down and give a huge big brain dump on, okay, just as though you're in work and you're saying, okay, let's all go together. No solution is to be negatively critiqued. They're more to be everything is to be included. And they're just all just thrown there up as possible solutions. So you're writing the problem in the middle, and then around that you're going to write a pile of solutions. And from those pile of solutions, and keeping a very open mind, somewhere in there you're seeing, okay, there's loads of ways around this. It's a pathway solution. And that way it means that if one of those pathways close off, you have other pathways. You're not going to splat. And the pessimist inside you, or the stronger horse of pessimism inside your personality is not being kind of fed. And I think this is a really good thing to do. So today, what I'm challenging you to do, or requesting that you do for your own sake and for just goodness, and maybe this is over the weekend, is that you're going to write down your problem in the very middle, and all around it, you're going to just bang off different solutions. And don't be negative or critical of them. All you're doing is putting out solutions. Every solution has some merit. Throw it off and then sleep on it. Go for a run. Go for a walk and take a picture. I got another picture today of Edmondstown. Thank you, Caroline. And you're going to write that down and then sleep on it, go for that run. And when you come back, your subconscious has done a little bit of thinking behind the surface, and has come with even more solutions, and it has coloured even more ways of going around it. And what is that? It's always good to have a different way of doing it and a different pathway to follow. And I just don't see any negative in that. So that's my kind of challenge over the weekend. I'm not going to say challenge, my request over the weekend. And you do it for your own good. I'm going to do it. I'm feeling very anxious at the moment, and I'm going to do it because I'm going to say, okay, Orla, let's stop thinking the problems and let's get it on paper and get it out. And especially in a, not a complaining way, but in a solutions orientated way. And I think that way is a way that we can all feel better. So there you go. Thanks a million for, as I said, more photos. Thanks so much. I appreciate these so much. And thank you for, I got two lovely calls actually in the last couple of days about this. And I'm appreciating it. And I'm really happy. And I hope that continues to kind of G up people and give people a lift. And I hope this continues. I know I will continue doing it. And feel free to message me with ideas, solutions that you think other people would benefit from hearing or being exposed to. And as I said, I'm always greedy for the photos and videos. So greedy. Ireland is so beautiful. Send me them. And really, look, keep her lit. 30 days. Good on us. What?